Welcome to Let's Play Rule the Waves 2 as France, starting in 1920. It's 1937, and time to have a little check to see how we're doing against the plan we established at the beginning of peace in 1934. Here is our little review. So, types of ships, number in service, number under construction or major rebuild, various notes, what we were looking for 1943 and what we need to achieve that. So for battleships, we have 12 with 2 more under actually rebuild. So we have 8 new ones, 2 modernizing, and therefore 4 left to be modernized. Meaning to get to 17, we're going to need 3 more. Of course, as discussed in earlier episodes, we are waiting for a friendly country to get the tech levels we want, particularly Torpedo Defense 4, so that we can start this construction program. In the meantime, we are addressing our carriers. We have 3 with a 4th under construction. They're all new. We're looking for 5, so we will need to build 1 more. Light carriers, we have 3. 2 of them are newish. 1 is old and might well need replacing by 43, but at the moment, whilst we have an unmodernized battle fleet of 20 knotters, it doesn't seem worthwhile to replace them. Heavy cruisers, we're having a little bit of a love affair, so we currently have 2. They actually need refitting, so we're going to explore what that looks like because they might have a more extensive rebuild. We're building 3, so at least we need 1 more, plus these 2 to be rebuilt, refit. Light cruisers, we've got 6. They're going to be fine. They're going to be used as an initial raiding force, with that padded out with our merchant cruisers when we come to war, if that seems like a viable strategy. Not going to build any more light cruisers at the moment. New destroyers, we have 20. So 10 of those are actually brand spanking new. We're waiting really for dual purpose main armament for these as the biggest thing. So we're going to need 10 more to round out this force, and that's, along with the refits of the heavy cruisers, is probably our next target. The old destroyers can't be refits. They're already in negative tonnage when you go to open up rebuild, so they're really just for trade protection. Corvettes, 33 at the moment, 17 colonials, 16 minesweepers. So we're going to need 6 more, mainly to give us a few spares. At the moment, actually, some of these minesweepers are coming up for obsolescence, so we're going to refit them, but just a really, really super light refit. Submarines, we have a tragic 5. If it looks like we're going to war with Britain, currently tension 1, then we will enter into a major submarine program and build something like 87, including scrapping a couple of the ones we currently have, which are getting pretty ancient. Forts, we have 8, and if we go to war with Japan, we'll build 7 in Southeast Asia and the South Pacific to deter amphibious invasions. Possibly more than that, so we're going to need 7-ish if we're going to go in that direction. Tensions with Japan at the moment, 0. My 2 targets are not cooperating at all. Here's our under construction at the moment. So the lead ship of our heavy cruisers, the Duplex, is due in 3 months. The first of our modernizing fast battleships, Redoutable, will be ready in 9, and 2 more heavy cruisers in 10 and 11. So by the end of this year, that will free up a substantial amount of money, and the new carrier and the second modernized battleship will be free next year in 38. So cross fingers, that will allow us to address that need for 3 new battleships, potentially building 2 at the same time. We go over to our main force. So this lot are starting to need a refit. I've got one in Southeast Asia, so I'm going to put that onto Foreign Station to make up for the loss of putting all of these into refits, and I'm just going to give them the simplest refit in the world, not actually do anything. Can we increase the K guns? Let me just check that that's all right. Yeah, actually, all right. We will increase the K guns to make the ASW more. Even though they're minesweepers, it's still worth doing. And aside from that, we will ignore oil and send them off. That's nearly half of them. I might as well do the rest that aren't on Foreign Station at the moment, just to get that underway as well, because they're going to be needing doing shortly. So that's that lot. We do need 500 tons on Foreign Station. I slightly overachieved on that, so I'm going to reactivate our cheapest cruiser and send that off. Then we have the Marseilles. So this year the Marseilles will need doing, next year the Jeanne d'Arc will need doing. If we have a look at our rebuild options, we currently have 9-inch, which at the time I thought was good enough, but the world and his dog seems to have settled on 10-inch quality 1 guns, and the difference I think is quite substantial. Let's pop across to Germany, because I don't have 10-inch quality 1 guns. So if we look at the gun data, 9-inch quality 1, bring this in. If we look at 15 inches as like a 15 inches. If we look at 15,000 yards as a sort of baseline, these 9-inch guns can do just short of 5 inches and 1.3 at 20,000 yards. If we push that up to 10-inch at 15, that 5-inch goes to nearly 6-inch, and that 1.3 goes to 1.7. Okay, so the deck's not too significant, but that extra belt is, and the yardage does increase slightly. So I'm very tempted to refit these ships with 10-inch guns. That would mean dropping down from 9 9-inch guns to 6 10-inch guns. Ideally, I would love to take these up to 11-inch guns, but unfortunately our displacement is just 800 tons too much. So I could have had 6 11-inch guns if this was a 12,000 ton heavy cruiser. So memo to self, when you're building 1920s cruisers, think about limiting yourself to 12,000. Anyhow, that's not happening, but I could decrease these. Now, obviously, as you decrease the number of guns, you decrease the opportunities for a hit, but the hit that you get is more telling, I'm thinking. So the reason for doing this, it doesn't really make any difference when you're facing light cruisers, but when you're facing heavy cruisers, they may well have 5-inch belts and 5-inch turrets. Now, the Marseillais themselves don't, they're a little bit light, but this would put them on a par with damaging other enemy heavy cruisers, and their weakness in terms of their protection system isn't affected by increasing the gunnage. I can also increase the 4-inch guns to more powerful quality 1, make them double turreted to increase the number of AA positions, give us some AA directors to take that up to a decent number, and actually the weight that we gained by going to 10-inch we can introduce to 22. Let's see if that's happy. Okay, we need an advanced director, and okay, that's all okay. I could bring down the guns to say 18 and add torpedoes, which was something in the original design that I had to skimp on. So if I bring them with 4 and make them reloadable, okay, that's a bit too much. So just decrease that and decrease that. Okay, that gives us 10 remaining. A little bit tight, so I'll bring the guns down to 16. Takes the heavy from 39 to 35. I got a little bit more space for when I want to bring radar in, and I can just increase this a tiny bit to max that out. Okay, 68 tons will be fine for things like radar. It's going to take 8 months and it's going to cost us 12,000. So not super cheap. You know, I could have done this for like 3,000 without changing the main armament, but I think this makes them punchier without affecting their protection system weakness, and gives them some torpedo options as well, and improves their AA fit massively. So let's go with that. And off you go. Puts us into slight minus, but we've got a reasonable buffer. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that as a start. So let's push on with the rest of the year. February. New Naval Secretary believes submarines are the key to victory. He wants you to build at least 15 additional submarines. Say, of course, we'll get more budget. Fair enough. I am going to say, of course. It doesn't say what sorts of submarines, so I can build coastal submarines, and that should fulfill this requirement. 15 submarines will come in handy if Britain becomes an opponent, and if not, worst thing in the world to have to do. So let's say yes. So must have 15 SS building. Couple of handy research breakthroughs. Catapult at last. I've double checked, although it says 15 SS, actually 15 SSCs will do fine. Thank you very much as well. So the 5 of those. So a slight negative balance there. The increase of budget and 15 submarines can't do any harm. Not really what we were after, but fine. Go to March. Make them a national hero. Not going to be friends with everybody forever. Ooh, the Americans don't like that at all. Tension 6. Won't be building anything in America, I can tell you. Ships in service. So these carriers can now have catapults, and I'm just wondering whether to refit them with a couple. Takes 4 months, costs just under 2,000. Check the. Happy with that? Oh, wow. Of course. It has 8-inch guns. I wonder whether we can bring these down to, say, 6-inch guns, whether it would object. Well, it doesn't object. I mean, low ammunition, obviously. We could even bring it down to 4-inch dual purpose. Leaves us with a lot of remaining tonnage. Because we could add the deck park, which doesn't do anything, and the edge lifts. Costs 5. That's all right. Still only costs 4 months. Seems a worthwhile addition. Now, question is, 1,100 tons, what to do with that? The obvious things are we could increase the number of aeroplanes, but not really by very much. 7. And I don't know, it doesn't seem the most useful of things. Oh, I've just noticed I've got 4-inch main guns and 4-inch secondary guns. It won't like. Also, they're only quality 1. If we nip to Germany and buy some excellent quality 1 4 inches, actually here 2, that would be better. Still go back to our local yard. actually had more weight remaining, but I'm going to increase these to 5-inch. They're not dual purpose yet, but surely they will be soon. Ooh, they're in casemates. So what would it be like to clear them all and then add wing turrets? Doubles. Argument? Oops. No, you cannot have center line. Right. Clear. Add D and E, H and I, J and K, S and T. Boom. Okay. Metrical. Yeah. They're still okay with that. Now it's costing 11,000, so that's quite expensive, but still only taking 4 months. So I'm liking that. Only 14 heavy AA. Add some directors. Push that up more than double. And obviously, once these become dual purpose, that would increase exponentially as well. Still got quite a bit of weight. 114, sorry, 144, so that's a little bit of space left for other stuff. So I'm quite liking that. I think given that tensions are low at the moment, they now going to get a high spy. I really want that 5-inch dual purpose. And so far as I know, the only people who have it are the Americans. So cross fingers, our spies come up with the goods around that. So yeah, I could upgrade these carriers to have catapults, but I'm going to hold off until I can really do something constructive with the anti-aircraft defense. And our beautiful new duplex is commissioned. Okay, and those 11 corvettes have had their construction done. Steel industry wants a stronger navy. Well, who doesn't want a stronger navy? So mention the importance of a strong navy. Yes, we're certainly going to do that for a bit more budget and a little bit more tension. Temporary setback in improved hulls. New Italian fighter. Well, we've just invested in a new fighter. In fact, one should be... Right, I haven't just put that up, have I? Let me go. Airplane types. Fighter request, 2 months. Yep. Okay, I'm just going to sort out my foreign stations. So sort by... I've got 2. This little corvette. And we have none on station itself. I kind of feel that can't be right, but that's Western in reserve. These people are all on active fleets at designated areas. And here's a pile, Northern Europe, just in case we need more. We have the duplex working up, so we'll leave that to do its thing. And we have 3,500 to spend on good stuff. So, put it back. Type. Go down the old obsolescence. So, these need refitting, but I'm going to wait until it's their turn to be modernized. Then the Arpon need refitting, but we haven't got 5-inch dual purpose, so we can't do them. The Lemberg, say, 400 ton, no, 500 ton, 900 ton. Let's double check. So, first of all, question. How much does a new destroyer cost? It's always important to know how much a new costs so that you can estimate whether you're wasting your money or not. Let's go to Germany. And here we have 6 5-inch guns, 8 torpedoes, no reloads, an AA outfit, only 2 K guns. waste, so we'll add some there, and we'll add some torpedoes. That takes us down to 20 tons. So that's great, and its total cost is 6,776. Just as a guide, I'm not serious on those, just short of 7,000. So with that in mind, we've got these diddly little, it's only 27, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste my time on these short-range, cramped accommodation nonsense. These aren't short-range, but they are cramped. I mean, they're a reasonable size, so you'd think that they'd be able to be rebuilt. They're at -2 at the moment. So if I up the machinery into oil, that gives us 222 to play with. The first thing, and that costs 1,500. First thing to do is to get rid of one of these and increase the number of tubes to compensate, and then add some reloads. So it doesn't really do much for the torpedoes other than adding the reloads, but it does increase the number of anti-aircraft positions. The next thing we can do is we can get rid of the midships, delete that, and this centerline superimposed. Oh, the centerline superimposed is all right. Just slightly odd positions, really. Take that off. We could obviously make this dual purpose. We need increased depth charges, and we need K-guns. Still 124. We could go to increase the tonnage. Now, one thing I've noticed is that when you have a double turret, it is much more expensive than a single. And it's much more expensive than a single, an A, and then a B superimposed. So it's only 9. Give it some anti-air. Don't know if it's worth having a director or not. Only goes up to 7. Central firing, I think we can do a bit better than that. A little bit more anti-air. So 43 tons remaining. And this has cost 3,238. So half the price of a completely new destroyer. So it's worth thinking about. We're in a local yard. We've only got quality 0, so if we go to Germany, pick up quality 1, back local yard. Oh, actually, let's stay in Germany. And the price is slightly cheaper. It's going to take 8 months. That's mainly, I was going to say that's mainly for the forward gun thing, but actually it's not. Got mines. I mean, the only thing I don't like about this peak class is that it's cramped accommodation, and I can't do anything about that. But otherwise, handy. I mean, I'm tempted to see if I can squeeze another torpedo in, which I can. I could squeeze another torpedo on top of that. It would accept it as slightly overweight. Ammunition is a bit low. I'd like to leave some space for radar. I could increase the gun armament, but still happy with that. But I don't think I will. I know it's a bit untidy, but I'm going to increase that to 4. The other one, 3. 26 tons, I think, should be fine for refitting radar, and I think it's got most of the stuff that it could want. If we go to 5-inch guns, we would have to drop down one of these twins here. Let's keep that as, sorry. Okay. So if that's all right with that, let's rebuild those. Any other destroyers? So next up, there is this Carabine class, equally now -47 here, so the machinery might not be able to work its magic magic quite as well. Does have 2 in the front and 1 aft. Not great. Dual purpose. If it reloads, it's got 6 tubes already. Increase the K guns, increase the depth charge storage. Give it a little bit of AA, actually, not very much. And we've got weight remaining, nothing. But the 34, we still need a bit of, only 80 rounds a gun, eek. That is very poor. That's taken us to -3. So I'll drop the K guns down to 2. Oh, okay. And that was only 2,000. Them join the pile. Then there are the ballistae, 1,200 tons. They are doable as well. I think these are giving these destroyers a lease of life. I mean, they're not top end, obviously, but particularly with the torpedo tubes, they will pose a problem still with anybody. Of AA. For what good it does, but... And there we go, and only 1,600. So, heavy, crowded will affect the rate of fire, but then... So, I could get rid of one of these, so this forward costs 10 tons, but between A and B position, that's 16 tons. If I replaced it with a twin turret, that would be 25 tons. Which we could just about manage. Let's see. That's a goer. Here. No, not all of them. Delete. Increase. The tonnage works. And the rate of fire penalty is removed. That's good. Costs 2,000. 100 rounds per gun is a bit rubbish. But yeah, you don't want to be changing the number of rounds per guns, the time suddenly up to take a full year to adjust for that. So again, oh, and it allows us a little bit more AA. Oh, so that's all good. And get them sorted. Next lots are Harpon we can't do. And then the rest are more modern. So that's got our old destroyers that can be modernized. This lot are just too rubbish to modernize, and this lot, they might be able to. They put it on the cusp. Rubbish or not? Let us decide. Go to Germany, replace the machinery, make oil. 132. Okay. Increase the... No, not minesweeping. Oh. Increased depth charge. Or purpose to improve director. Can't manage it all. I'll take out this center line restricted arc for it. And I will delete B. Make this in a 4. which saves us a bit and allows us to put a double turret in. No. If I reduce the K guns down to 2, then I can just slip it in. Would have improved main guns. Yes, good point. Thank you for the tip. Gun allowance low, cramped, ship short range. Ah, yes, that was the reason. So it would cost 2,700, but I'm not going to do it because they are short range and cramped. So just the Harpon, the remaining class that need to be modernized. And as I said, I'm waiting the 5-inch guns. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 destroyers being modernized back up to some sort of fleet standard, which is nice. And we'll carry a small negative balance until 5 months' time when the Marseilles ready. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time and stay safe.